Welcome to Moon Harbor Heroes. Today's issue is Faces, issue 45, Boxing Day. On the cover, we see our team sitting around a haphazardly made, high-tech clear box. Asimov wears a worried look, staring down at the box. Within the containment unit, Djkstra's meadow is contorted, showing the shape of a small island fortress. We turn the page and our story begins. This comic opens with a close-up panel of Lighthammer's face. Through the phone, we can hear Mike Donnelly, your manager. And the line we cut in on is, so you all have captured Remix and Djkstra? You're kind of running out of nemesis over there.
I mean, yeah, that's not a bad thing. Besides,
for ratings, it kind of is. Nemesis, they drive viewership. Like, we already aren't seeing Ryder, so we don't have that romantic thing going on. Like, you need to give the viewers what they want.
Is he trying to change their labels?
Absolutely. And he's trying to shift your danger up and your superior down. Basically, he's saying you should have been more reckless. Like, in the background of this, like, he's going on about, you could have just beaten him. You didn't have to fully capture him. Just stop his plan. Catch him another day. Like, I know you have to be a hero, but think of the ratings. That's what gets you paid.
Well, my superior's locked, so get fucked, Mike.
All right.
And I think while he's talking, I cut him off and I'm like, look, I get that ratings are important, but also these are villains who could actually kill people. So let's understand that there are things more important than what the people watching my Instagram think.
I get that, Lighthammer, but I don't know, maybe get flirty while your boyfriend's out of town. Something to get them excited.
You want me to go almost kill Pathogen again? Because I'll do it. Remember the last time?
That was a dip.
I know what I'm doing.
All right, Lighthammer. I'm just... You live on this, so we got to make sure you remain financially viable.
And other people live or die if I don't do my job correctly. I will try to flash it up a little bit, but if I'm going to do that, I need something else. I need a little bit more. Honestly, what I kind of need is a jetpack, because everyone else on my team has the ability to fly or move quickly through the air, and I had to run up the stairs twice during my last fight. So do we have anything that, like, a new attachment for the boots or something that could help me with that?
I can make some calls. I'll see what I can come up with, okay?
All right, and I will try to be a little bit flashier.
That's all I'm asking. You're doing good work out there. I'll see what I can do.
Great. Always good to talk to you, Mike.
I think he's already hung up at that.
We're in Ryder's lab, correct? Like Ryder's house?
And I think at that, like, we got a pulled back panel showing where are you within Ryder's lab?
I think there's like a couch that he often like crashed on while he was like helping Leo make various things. And I like go and like grab the pillow and just like flop on my back and cuddle with the pillow and just like stare at the ceiling.
And Brian, where are you in this shot?
I am in the background pacing around a box that I've constructed on the floor just near a wall.
I think our next panel is a close up on that. And in that box, like, we can see the like liquid form of Djkstra swirling around in it. Have you built any kind of like communication into this, or what can Djkstra do in and out of this box?
I'm thinking that sound waves can travel through.
Like at any time, or is there like a speaker that you can turn on and off?
I threw this thing together I didn't have time to plan features.
Excellent.
I mean, there were electrical arcs flying around. Why are there electrical arcs in a box? How do you even visualize that? I don't even know, man.
Fantastic. And then we get a panel of Brian over this Djkstra box. What does this box look like again? Give us like a quick overview on that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's try to synthesize all of the seemingly contradictory details I have at some point mentioned about the appearance of this box. So it's see-through. There is, for some reason, electricity arcing through like the glass parts. Who knows why? It's sciencey stuff. It's important. It's just got to be there. There's clear plastic thing around it. Wait, at some point I think I said it was metal, and I didn't want Djkstra to absorb into it, so that's why I put plastic. Well, yee.
So I think the short is that this box is a monstrosity, and I love it.
Use your imagination.
It looks a bit like a microwave that's been in a microwave.
Yeah, pretty much.
Phenomenal. And I think for the first couple hours that Djkstra was in this box, it was just constant screaming and threats and just, let me out of here or I'm going to destroy you. And eventually it quieted down. What is Brian up to at this point?
Well, let's see. If he's quieted down, then I must have also quieted down. And I must be having fun and games with Enki.
What are the two of you into at the moment? Where do we see you in the scene?
I don't even know your answer yet, and I'm already annoyed.
What is our current hobby?
Mostly just annoying Lighthammer.
Ooh, what if we're like big into Nerf guns and random Nerf darts keep hitting Lighthammer in the face?
Yes.
So I think we get a series of panels of like Lighthammer. You said you were stretched out on the couch at this point.
Yeah, I'm like laying on the couch with like Ryder's pillow like clutched to my chest, just staring at the ceiling.
And I think we get like a series of like 6 panels where Lighthammer doesn't change position, but Inky and Brian are just engaged in this intense shootout with Nerf guns. And as the panels go on, Lighthammer has more and more Nerf darts sticking off of him.
I like just the gratuitous use of 6 panels.
Oh yeah,
It's very important.
At one point, they get too close to the box, and without looking up, like a parent with their like weird sixth sense, I'm like, "Be careful around the box. If we let the supervillain out, I'm gonna kill you." I think I get hit in the eye with a dart, and then I sit up and I'm like, "Okay, that's it," and just send 2 like sound waves from my hands and smash your Nerf guns.
Hey,
My hands are grabbing at all the pieces in the air, trying to push them together.
Okay,
do you just casually put your Nerf gun back together and then shoot me? And then I'm like, no fair.
Yeah, I think I know how a Nerf gun works.
I start walking over to you, and as I do, under my breath, I'm like, I never thought I'd live to see the day where I want the company of a stag over humans, but okay, here we go. And then I look at the two of you and I'm like, we have a supervillain in a box. Do you think maybe we should like try to get some answers from it? Like, for instance, hey Djkstra, why were you trying to crash the moon into Moon Harbor?
to destroy the creator. You hear its voice come from the box.
Hey, no fair. You'll talk to him? That was directed at Djkstra, who was presumably not talking to me, so I gave up and started playing Nerf guns.
Well, it wasn't that it wasn't talking to you. It was just screaming obscenities and threats at you. And then eventually quieted down.
I look at Brian and I'm like, now that it's a little bit calmer, why don't we all sit down? And by we all, I mean, why don't the 3 of us sit down around this box and let's try to get some answers. Dykstra's been up to something, and Remix is in jail. This is the perfect time to get some information.
At this point, the doorbell rings, and on the intercom screen, we can see it's Greg with a whole bag of sushi. I think I open the door and go, "Oh, hi, Greg. Oh, raw fish again. Does anyone want this?"
I put my hand up.
If it's not covered in sugar, it probably doesn't want it.
Valid. And I think we turn the page and we get the 3 of you around the box. I think it sounded like only Lighthammer eating sushi.
Well, and Greg, of course.
Ah, okay.
I think I'm comfortable enough with Greg that this is really gross, but I pick up a piece of sushi with my chopsticks, and then the next panel I have sushi on the chopsticks and I'm offering it to Greg, and I'm chopsticking the sushi back and forth between the 2 of us with the same pair of chopsticks.
Amazing.
And I'm looking at Djkstra and I'm like, so is this like a Ouija board thing? Do we have to ask you a question and you'll cryptically spell it out with your metal body? Or are you going to answer questions for us?
What questions do you have?
Why are you using my symbol?
To ruin your life. That's always been my goal.
Oh my god, that's so boring.
See, we already know the answers to all these questions.
Okay. Besides the creator, why else would you want to destroy the world?
I'm not the one who wants to destroy the world. Just Brian.
Yeah, so the way you said that was really cryptic. So, who wants to destroy the world then?
And I think we hear Dykstra start to chuckle a bit and go, I might as well tell you. I can't kill you while I'm in this box, and maybe the things I built for them will do the job for me. The Phoenix and its ilk.
I get chills, but I don't know why.
The Phoenix, like Carl's Phoenix? Like Smiling Phoenix.
Do you know any other phoenixes?
It's a really common name. Everyone thinks they're born from the ashes.
I think at this point, I just tap the box and go, so is this like one of those cell phone things?
Ah!
And I think in the panel where Inky taps the box, we see the fluid of Dykstra slam against the box at that point. It shakes the box a bit, but it does not do anything.
Hey, Brian, how secure is this box?
I will escape eventually.
Yeah, I wasn't asking you. Hey, Brian, how secure is this box?
Not enough. Everything I need is back at home.
Well, is it secure enough that you can go home, get all the stuff, and come back?
I think there's a panel in the background where Enki is muttering to himself, and it's something like, oh, so now he's actually in the box, but if I ask if Brian is in the cell phone, everybody laughs at me.
I mean, it's kind of heavy and attached to the floor. I mean, I can fix that part.
Don't you want to know what the Phoenix is up to?
I think this is a new panel, and Enki's panel in the background says, I mean, Brian could be small. That's totally possible.
I don't need you to tell me what the Phoenix is up to.
I mean, we do have another super villain in a prison we could go talk to.
Oh, Remix isn't involved. I made the equipment for them. I know where they are.
Look, I appreciate the effort, but we're not letting you out of here. You tried to kill everyone on the planet. You've tried to kill Brian like 6 times. You're not going to be able to stay in a regular prison. So, get used to the box.
I'm not asking to trade. I'm willing to tell you where. It's an island off the coast of Moon Harbor. The Isle of Pandia.
Am I missing something? What's on an island?
Phoenix and his friends have been building something there.
So that's a trap, right? Everyone is in agreement that if we went there, we'd be walking directly into a trap.
I mean, it sounds like a trap.
I'm trying to exchange glances with Lighthammer, like, we gotta go there.
Does someone want to pierce the mask?
I feel like that's probably me.
Pierce the box.
Yeah, roll to pierce the box.
I will destroy you.
LOLOL. That's a 5, everybody.
All right. Ask one off the pierce the mask list. I am going to answer honestly.
But what if instead I didn't, so you didn't do a bad thing?
No, that's not an option.
Well, I don't see how this could possibly go wrong.
I'm gonna ask, what are you really planning? But probably the group.
Dykstra does not know what that group is planning. I think we get a couple panels showing, as Dykstra is explaining its interactions with the Phoenix. The Phoenix, and who he keeps referring to as the Phoenix's friends, provided him with resources in exchange for building security measures for them. Through this, you are left understanding that this group legitimately is trying to hide this. Dykstra's telling you all this because it very, very clearly, and is open about this, believes that the traps that they built will kill you all. That the security measures they built will kill Brian. So I guess the out of character here takeaway is that it is a trap in that it is heavily armed. It is not a trap in that the whole thing is a thing to draw you all in.
Okay.
And so how much of that did Dykstra actually say in character?
The bits Dykstra explains in character is that they made the security there and they're certain their security will kill you.
Bullshit. You know that's bullshit because I haven't killed you yet.
You're weak of will. It's your greatest weakness.
Hey, don't you insult Brian, stupid box.
I was half expecting Iggy to slap the box or something.
I'm gonna hold off.
I'll offer the box some sushi.
All right. So if we wanted to go to this island, we're going to encounter a lot of traps, which feels like that's not the best plan. But also, whatever they're working on there is going to eventually come after Brian and try to kill him, and also the rest of the world, probably. So that's also not the best plan.
Brian is having a really hard time seeing Lighthammer's resistance to going. I think he's gonna be like, "Isn't this important to you? Wasn't he important to you?"
Can I take a powerful blow?
Absolutely. In fact, if you want, I'll give you a +1 to it.
Yeah.
That's a 10.
You didn't need that +1. All right. What does that look like?
I think my face just drops and just becomes completely stone-faced, and I'm like, thanks, Brian. Really needed that. And I'm just gonna get up and walk out of the room, like slam the door behind me.
What was that all about?
Sorry. I think I have to follow him. Can you watch the box?
Sure.
Oh, geez, I've never done this before.
And then as Brian leaves the room, I think Enki turns to Greg and says, "They really seem to like this Carl guy. Do you think Brian liked Carl more than he does like me?"
I think the panel we get of Greg is them taking a long sigh.
I don't think in this entire series Brian has ever tried to console anyone's feelings.
Oh my god. Lighthammer, where are we when Brian catches up to you?
I think I'm sitting on the on the stoop outside of Ryder's. Like, it's not it's like an apartment building, right? Like it's like a building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting on like the front stoop, the front steps.
Well, then I guess some feet will approach from behind. I'm just going to sit down and kind of look the other way because I'm actually not sure what to say, or more like look forward.
I pull out my phone and start scrolling, and I think I've got like a police scanner app on my phone, and I'm like looking for like crime nearby, like petty theft kind of crime nearby.
Yeah, I guess that was a bit harsh.
I'm not responding yet.
My mundane is -2, by the way.
Oh, this is gonna go great.
Okay, let's see. Oh, this is a perfect. Oh my god, I can actually use this move.
Oh my god, was it your mansplain move?
Yes.
Delightful.
It seems to me like the best way to confront this loss is to confront it directly. You know, we need to know what's happening, and I really don't know. Is this okay? It's comfort or support someone by rationally pointing out their mistakes so they can do better next time. I don't know. How is that helping them?
I think what you're doing would qualify to trigger the move because it leads it to Lighthammer whether or not they accept.
Okay, I'm gonna try it. We're gonna see how well this works out. Okay, so here we go. 2d6 -2 on the move logical angle. That is a 1.
Does that not swap it out for like a something else?
Oh wait, it's roll plus superior. That is a 4.
That's still rough, but all right.
That's easy for you to say. You can go confront the problem head on, but I wasn't there. I couldn't save him. Maybe if I'd been there, he wouldn't be gone. So you can go confront him, confront the reason he's gone because you did everything you could, but I didn't.
Oh shit, man. Okay, so if they do not open up to you, mark a condition. I think I'm going to mark angry.
I actually do think that was me opening up.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Actually, yeah, you were. Yes.
It's not necessarily. I'm not feeling any better. I'm not getting any mechanical benefits from this, but I do think I open up there.
Yeah, because Brian totally did not realize that's how you felt about it. Well, so, I mean, maybe now's your chance, right?
Look, Brian, I know you mean well. I get it. But right now, there's nothing anyone can say to make this better. I don't know if you know this, but I didn't have a lot of friends. I have a lot of fans. I have a shit ton of fans. But Carl was one of my only friends. It was you and Carl, some people from my childhood, and like my agent, but he doesn't really count. I lost someone that I loved. And you did too. And I don't know. I kind of just want to go punch things. Can that box hold for like 10 minutes while we go like find a mugging to stop or something?
Is anything showing up on your phone?
Yeah, I think we get a conveniently timed like call for police to respond to a robbery at like a convenience store.
Well, I guess duty calls.
If your box is going to break while you're gone, then stay. I can go take care of a minor robbery myself.
It'll definitely hold, Brian. You're certain it'll hold for that long at least.
I think we can trust Enki.
I so want to believe you.
At least I trust Greg.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I don't necessarily need to see us stop this mugging.
We see Brian walking back into the Rider Sanctuary. Inky, what are you up to when Brian walks back in?
When Brian walks back in, what he sees is Enki sitting there with a glass of water and a giant novelty straw. And he looks at Brian and goes, "These are so cool. Felix has the coolest toys."
Brian looks at Inky and goes, Lighthammer's in trouble. Down the street, there's a robbery. I just had to get some tools. I'll meet you there. And like points out the door.
If Brian says it, I mean, and I will jump on Greg and run right past definitely Brian out the door. Go find Lighthammer.
And as Inky leaves, I think we get the panel of Brian picking up the box and then shifting back into Membrane. And we get a little editor's note that says Membrane originally appeared in Cataclysm Crew, shapeshifter.
Motherfucker.
We turn the page from that and we see Lighthammer and Brian stepping out of the convenience store. I think behind them we see like a very like black hood or black like ski mask over their face, traditional looking robber tied up, hog tied in the ground. And then we see Inky running in or riding in full speed on Greg.
Brian, you're here already? Wow, you're fast.
I think just I've got like a candy bar that I was just taking a bite of, and then it just sort of dangles from my mouth a little bit at the sight of Enki.
I start to sprint back towards Ryder's house.
So what was wrong with Light, Brian? Light seems fine.
Why are you here?
You told me to come here.
And I think our next panel is Lighthammer bursting into the door. Probably the rest of you hot on his heels.
Yeah.
Everything is completely the same, but the box is gone.
We just get like a small word bubble that's like, fuck.
We turn the page and we see a half-page panel that shows this island far off the shore of Moon Harbor. We can see just way off in the distance, just tiny bits of light from the city itself. And it's a fairly small island. I'd say about half the size of Lighthammer's ego.
Wow, I hate you.
So the moon.
It's a fairly small island. There's a bit of what look like originally native trees, but most of it seems to have been recently cleared out. Like we can see chopped over trees kind of and like signs of recent construction. But the biggest feature is in the middle of this, a large like walled fortress. It's well lit right along the fortress. We can see spotlights searching the cleared out area around it. And we can also see vague shapes of what look like shiny metallic guards, like just crawling across the top area. We also see very large, like turret guns mounted along these walls, scanning down along the area. In our next panel, we see our team. How are you arriving here on this island?
So Enki is only wearing the loincloth and is riding a shark. I think he's sitting on top like you would sit on a motorbike. And I guess it's stealth, so I think he smoothly goes through the water and lands on the shore.
I kind of get the feeling like we could be in like a V formation with Enki at the front, and the other two of us are just on little aquatic remote controlled robots.
I like that. Lighthammer, your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely would have gone with a robot over the wild animal.
Excellent. I think we see you all land on the shore, and there's a decent distance where it's still like outside the range of these spotlights that are playing across the open field, where you're pretty safe here and pretty certain you're not going to be seen. I think we get like a nice tight panel of the team arriving. What do you all do?
Enki turns to Lighthammer and points at the shark and goes, I called him Jaws, get it? Because he's a shark. And I think Lighthammer just goes, yes. And then there's an editor's note that says, Enki has never seen a movie. This is not a movie reference at all.
Amazing. I don't think we get out. Like, I don't think we like go all the way onto shore yet. We're still like in the shallow part of the water. And Lighthammer notably has donned a new costume. It looks very, very similar, except instead of the gold and the teal, it's now black and teal, and it's like a stealth look.
Is it neoprene?
It's probably Kevlar-y. Like, it's probably a little bit nicer, sort of rigid structure, like a protection material.
And I think we get a shot through Lighthammer's view, seeing like through your like heads up visor. And is your live light on?
That feels like a really bad decision for a stealth mission. So no.
Okay, cool.
Lighthammer usually doesn't start streaming until he's already in the middle of the fight.
Fair.
And then it's like, well, what are you gonna do now? Like, I'm already right in front of you.
That's fair. So we see the three of you in the shallows at the edge of this. What are y'all doing?
Okay. I know that the two of you are the single most reckless people I've ever met, but we need to be careful.
Oh man, you're really encouraging me to come up with something crazy.
Is that in character or out of character?
That's out of character, but ooh.
I look at the two of them and I'm like, okay, so let's try to see if there's a subtle way in. I'm going to go look for tunnels and see if there's any entrances around. And I'm going to go stand on like the beach, like right where the ground gets like a little bit solid. And I'm going to try to use the like sonar scanning goggles to like test to see if there's tunnels underneath us, like sound wave through the sand.
Sure. Give me an assess. Actually, I think that's actually an unleash because you're trying to answer like a very specific thing with extending your senses.
That's an 8.
Ooh, can I push it up to a 9?
I mean, then Brian would have to push it up to a 10. Do we have 2 team right now?
Yeah, I think we at current would only have one team.
Oh wait, 7 to 9. I'm just dumb.
Do you want to mark a condition, or I'll tell you how it's unstable or temporary?
I'm feeling a little insecure right now. After the whole, like, do you care about your dead friend comment?
That's fair. So we get this panel of you standing on the beach, and we see your sound waves like going out through the ground. And we see a like shadowy structure underneath you. You can see a lot of tunnels that all run kind of maze-like underneath you, but all connect back to the central building. But much, much deeper than that, you can feel it. You can find a shaft that's just going down farther than your sound waves went.
Do those tunnels feel like they are made of natural stone, or are they like metal construction?
They are absolutely a metal construction. And like, can your stuff like do any material analysis? I don't know how fine of detail you can get with your things.
I can pretty much just get like, is it hard? Is it soft? Is it hard like metal? Is it hard like stone?
You get back, it is metal, but it reflects your sound waves in a very intense way that you haven't run into before. It's very unlike any material you've ever seen.
I relay that to everybody. And I've used my sound waves on Djkstra before. Is that the same type of feeling?
It is not.
Cool. I think that's probably our best way in. I mean, we can't actually tell if there's a trap inside there, but we know there are traps and guards and guns that way. And I point towards the, like, fortress.
So are we digging down there? Because I have a friend who is a mole and he taught me how to dig. So I don't want to brag, but I'm pretty good at digging.
I mean, I think you'd probably be really effective until you hit the metal tunnel. My thought was there are trees that have been cut down over there, which means there are root systems over here. So why don't you have the roots grow down and open a hole for us?
Okay, good, because I only took one lesson and I'm not good at digging.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Brian feels incompetent right now.
Oh?
Can I take a powerful blow just from that being such a great suggestion?
Do you really want to?
No, it's probably excessive, but
I mean, you could always just like give me influence for being that brilliant.
yes, I give. I'm giving you influence. Oh, which you do not have yet, so there you go.
Yeah, I haven't had influence over you since like our third session together.
Okay, I think I walk to a nearby tree and put my hand on it and start doing that. Is that a roll?
Yeah. What are your doom triggers, real quick?
Overexerting myself or facing danger alone?
Okay, I thought it was one of them was overexerting. You can absolutely do this. It's going to be an unleash your powers, but it's going to take a lot out of you. You will be marking a doom for the amount of energy you're pushing out for this.
It does sound like a really cool thing to do, so I kind of want to do it.
All right, go ahead and roll to unleash.
That's a 7.
All right, on a 7 to 9, you can either mark a condition, or I'll tell you how it's unstable or temporary.
Okay, I'm going to pick afraid, and I'm going to mark a doom track, which fills up my doom meter.
Oh God. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to tell me what this looks like when you do this, and tell me what doom sign you're picking in whatever order you want to do that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with dark visions because I feel like that one is the most narrative fun for doomed.
Oh, it's a fun one. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to pick that early because it's narrative shenanigans. So does this trigger it for the first time, or would that require me to fill up another doom track?
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have you tell me what it looks like when you open a hole with these roots. And then I'm going to toss in some things triggering off your dark vision stuff. I'm going to give you a vision. You can get that for free. If you want to ask the question, you can then spend a doom to.
Okay, but that's perfect because that's kind of what I wanted. Okay.
Yeah.
So I put both of my hands on this tree. So you can't really see the roots underground do stuff yet, though there's like a slight rumbling, I imagine. But you can see it in like this is a tree that's maybe like I don't know tree ages, but like I don't know 10 years old or something like that. So it's like a mature-ish tree, but it's still like a pretty young tree. And it grows bigger and more majestic as I do this, and you see the roots wriggle and sprout up from the ground. Like it opens up a hole, and you see sweat running from Enki's face, and then you can see the tunnel forming, and suddenly Enki's eyes go white.
Yeah, and I think we get this panel where the roots first touch this metal, and it's this like deep purple metal that's just like a glossy sheen as soon as it's exposed. And our next panel, we see Inky, a close up on Inky's face and his eyes going wide, and then we see this like Inky sees this ghostly image of this tall man in this purple metallic armor, just this hulking armor, and his face is just this swirl of like a black void. And Inky, when you see him, your blood just runs cold. It flashes for just a second, but if you wanted to force yourself to stay in it, you could spin the doom and trigger a full dark signs to ask a question about it.
No, I think I'm good. What does happen, I think, is that as this vision comes over me, the roots like grow into me and form like the crown of thorns again, like the last time.
And I think we get a pullback panel where we see Inky standing there still touching the tree, and then the roots pull up a section of this metal and like bend it back. It created an opening. You can see like a well-lit hallway of the same metal down below. And we see the rest of the team there as well.
Moon Harbor Heroes is produced by Anthony Sheets, TP Hughes, and Elliot Peterson, and edited by Anthony Sheets and Sean Geddes. Anthony can be found on Twitter at IcyNewYear or at IcyNewYear.com. T is a theater artist and educator in the DC area. She can be found at T Hughes Playwright on Twitter or TPHughes94 on Instagram. Elliot can be found at Elliot Yellen on Twitter. That's ELLIOTYLEN. Sean can be found at The Crumpit, THECRUMPIT, on Twitter. Moon Harbor Heroes is played using Masks: A New Generation, written by Brendan Conway and produced by Magpie Games. Our logo was designed by Beautiful Beasties. She can be found on Instagram at beastly.doodles or on Patreon at patreon.com/beautifulbeasties. The music in this issue is Black Vortex by Kevin MacLeod. This issue is GM'd by Anthony Sheets. Asimov is played by EXPHP. You probably won't find him at itsexphp on Twitter, but it's worth a try. Enki is played by Simon Meskins. You can find him as at Gilbereka, GILBERREKE on Twitter. Lighthammer is played by T. Huth. If you want to get a hold of us, email us at moonharborheroes@gmail.com or find us on Twitter at moonharborcast. If you enjoyed this issue, please leave us a review on your podcatcher of choice or tell a friend. 5-star reviews and word of mouth are really the best way for us to keep bringing these stories to more people. If you'd like to support us financially, check us out at patreon.com/moonharborheroes. Supporting us there will give you access to bonus issues each month. And thank you for helping us save the world. We'll see you next issue.